Welcome back to Common Sense. I'm Wendy Bell. Okay, I cannot figure out this weird battle of the alphas that's going on. This like super uncomfortable fight between President Trump and Elon Musk. It's like watching your grandparents in a cage match. Like, come on, really? Can't we all be grown-ups here? Musk tweeted that Trump was in the Epstein files. Trump punched back on Truth Social, calling Elon a pill popper who may need to be deported. What? And then everything just totally went to crap. Now Elon wants to start his own political party, the America Party. Really? Well, that escalated quickly. So what's the real story, do you think? What made what looked like a mutual friendship and a united goal to defeat Kamala Harris devolve into snarky tweets and not-so-veiled threats? Was it inevitable that the world's wealthiest man, who's pushed the frontiers of space and science, would get into a minds bigger than yours is war with the most powerful man in the world? I mean, it's ridiculous. So, ego? Is it a stay in your lane thing? Is it something else entirely? Could we all be getting played? Let's bring back our panel. Brian Craig co-hosts the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig on the True Oldies Channel 95.3 and 96.9 FM. From Florida, Wendy Patrick hosts Today with Dr. Wendy on KCBQ Radio, The Answer out of San Diego. And Chris Arps co-hosts the Tim Jones and Chris Arps Show on News Talk St. Louis 101.9 and 94.1 FM. Wendy, you're up first. Okay, let's go. This online power struggle between the two fiercest social media influencers of all time, like once friends in kind of maybe a marriage of convenience perhaps, but now they're like rivals, leveraging their online fan bases in what feels like this battle for authority. Musk's recent salvo calling Trump's one big beautiful bill a disgusting abomination, to which Trump tweeted, or truthed I should say, "I'm saddened to watch Elon Musk go completely off the rails, essentially becoming a train wreck over the past 5 weeks." Oh my gosh, what's going on here? Wendy Patrick.
You know, I'm really glad that I was in the queue for this question, because I'm going to say the answer is comic relief. You know, so many of us have watched this with mild amusement, not necessarily seriously believing anything that we're seeing traded barbs-wise back and forth. I predicted way from the beginning that these two were going to reconcile, and I still think that's in the cards. And I think that Elon's going back and forth about whether or not he wants to be supportive of anything Donald Trump does. Although I don't know that everybody would agree it's a battle of the alpha males. Because remember, Elon Musk at the beginning was kind of always standing in the background and kind of watching in an adoring fashion. And
Right.
that really wasn't his style. And I think that's being seen now in some of the pushback that the president's gotten. I think Elon is sorry he said what he did about the Epstein files, but we'll see if he doubles down on anything now that they apparently don't exist.
Well, Chris, I heard this really interesting interview with the CEO of the investment firm Azoria. He said Elon's falling out with President Trump boils down to him with Doge overpromising and under-delivering. Listen to this.
For months now, Elon set expectations, 2 trillion, 1.5 trillion, 1 trillion. And if you take the numbers at face value on Doge.gov right now, it's 170 billion. Now that's real money. I think that Sesame Street in Iraq should have been defunded. But the truth of the matter is that Elon Musk set expectations with the president, with me, and with the country that he did not fulfill.
So what do you think, Chris? Is this about underperforming?
You know, I said this on my radio show before. I think I'm not so much convinced that these public rifts between Donald Trump and Elon Musk are real. Look, with Elon Musk being involved with Donald Trump in politics, Tesla stock has gone down 8%. What better way to show the investors that you're no longer want to be involved in politics and with Donald Trump by having public spats with them? So if it is the case that this is real, I think part of it is because Elon wanted to make a name for himself with Doge and cutting a bunch of government waste, and the big beautiful bill outshines that or undoes that and kind of messes up his legacy. So I'm not totally convinced it's real. But I think Elon starting a third party and doing all of that is just going to do the opposite of what he wants. He's going to just end up electing Democrats.
Well, and Brian, to Chris's point, he says shares of Tesla tumbled after Musk announced this third party. So I wonder, does Elon, you think, really think starting a third party is the answer? Or does he really just enjoy the spotlight, the seat at the table at Mar-a-Lago, the rides in Air Force One, the gravitas that comes with hanging out with the world's most powerful man? It's got to be addictive. Is he maybe butthurt, or am I wrong?
Yeah, I think he's the richest man in the world, a spoiled brat. He owes President Trump so much because the president gave him access that no one has had, not even a first lady. If you watch those cabinet meetings, not only was Elon in the cabinet meetings, the cabinet secretaries were reporting to him. I've never heard of anything like that happening before. You know, this guy, Ross Perot, got about 16% of the vote and gave us Bill Clinton, which is 43% of the vote. Okay, and look what Bill Clinton and the Clintons have done to our country. So he needs to wise up and get his act together. And it is real. If it was fake, he wouldn't have accused Trump of being on the Epstein list. If it was set up, that wouldn't have been part of the setup from Trump, I promise you. I'm just glad I didn't buy that Cybertruck.
Wow, right. It was so on your shopping list. I know that. And you know, and to your point, historically speaking, third parties tend to be to benefit the Democrats. And you brought up Ryan Ross Perot in 1992. What did he get? 18% of the vote. Stole re-election from George H.W. Bush, handed the presidency to Bill Clinton. So, Wendy, Musk's move to create this America Party doesn't even make sense to CNN. Listen to this.
This entire thing makes very little sense to me. It makes about as much sense as selling sand in the desert. What are we talking about here? What is the size of Elon Musk's base? Well, I calculate it to be about 4%, just 4%, 1, 2, 3, 4% of all voters. What is that base made up of? Well, it's those who view Elon Musk favorably and the GOP unfavorably. We're talking just about 4% of all voters out there, because it turns out most of the people who like Elon Musk already like the GOP already. That is, they already have a party for him. In my mind, there is just no base for Elon Musk's third party in the electorate, at least initially speaking.
Right? Like, we don't need a third party, Wendy. We need term limits.
I think this is one of those issues that there's broad appeal across both aisles. Is there is no appeal for this kind of a party. And one of the things I think that Elon may have been thinking is, you know, he had it pretty good when he was in with Trump. I mean, he didn't need any more name recognition. He had plenty of name recognition. I think, as my colleagues and you have pointed out, he enjoyed the fanfare. He enjoyed being an insider, having ice cream in the White House when he slept over. Remember all the things that he just loved about being in Trump's inner circle. He blew it by what he said on Twitter and hasn't been able to recover. And so these are some of the things that he's been trying. I think maybe if he listens to some of his advisors, he can get back into Donald Trump's good graces. Between now and then, these ideas simply have no appeal. They're going nowhere.
Right. Okay, and so, Chris, how about this? Do you think Donald Trump and Elon Musk can exist in the same space? Like, in the wild, after all, there's only one alpha.
I think they need to. Look, Republicans have a 3-seat majority in the House. Elon Musk America Party playing in Republican primaries or third parties could disrupt that majority easily and swing the House back to the Democrats next cycle.
Brian, take a swing at it. What do you think? Can they exist? Are they going to get back together? It sounds weird.
I don't think so. How could you ever trust Elon Musk? I don't think we could ever trust him again. And since he's the richest man in the world, he makes George Soros look like some middle-class guy in the suburbs. He can unleash unlimited amounts of cash into any campaign and get people elected. This is bad news for us in the midterms. We don't need this.
I don't disagree. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much for being here. It's so much to talk about. It's like